Establishing the Global Eco-Renaissance. One Community Weekly Progress Update, number 689.
One Community is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We are creating open source and free shared blueprints and resources, tools and tutorials, and do-it-yourself instructions for highest good living. Creating solution models that create additional solution creating models in the service of all life on this planet. This includes highest good approaches to food, energy, housing, education, for-profit and non-profit business creation, society, and earth stewardship.
Welcome back to another episode of One Community's Weekly Progress Update. Thank you, beautiful people, for following our progress. This is our June 1st, 2026 edition. My name is Jay, and today I want to talk about establishing the global eco-renaissance, because there's an eco-renaissance that's happening. It's been kind of going through a rough patch right now. I think most people would agree with that, but the reality of it is, from a global perspective, for people not living in the United States, is pretty obvious the direction that humanity is moving, that it is moving in a more sustainable direction, in that many aspects of sustainability, like sustainable food, like sustainable energy, and like the concept and the idea of wanting to live sustainably, wanting to eat food that is grown without the three common poisons that are being sprayed on it, more in this country than in a lot of other countries, wanting to live in homes that are built with non-toxic materials that last longer, are more artistic and beautiful, wanting to live lives that are filled with more growth and interesting things to do and more time to do with those things. Like, these ideas are growing, and more people are getting interested in it, and more and more people are starting to recognize that the way that we are living right now is objectively, like, the facts of the situation are that the way that we are living right now cannot continue. It is not, by definition, sustainable. We're living on a planet of finite resources, and we're not treating it that way. And so people are starting to get more and more interested in not poisoning our air, our water, and our food. People are starting to get more interested in living a life that really nurtures the human soul and gives people more time to do the things that they love instead of the grind of a traditional 9-to-5 job. And what do alternative living models look like? What do alternative education models look like? What do alternative economic models look like? And so all of these ideas are part of the global eco-renaissance. And One Community is here to help establish the global eco-renaissance by creating step-by-step instructions for everything that you see happening in the background of this video, and so much more, covering the physical foundations of sustainability, all of them, which is food, energy, and housing, as well as the emotional foundations of sustainability, which a lot of people talk a lot less about, but it's becoming more and more apparent, more and more interesting to more and more people, which are, we like to call, highest good approaches to fulfilled living, education, economics, and stewardship. And so our idea for establishing the global eco-renaissance is to build teacher demonstration hubs that demonstrate all these things in one place, the physical foundations as well as the emotional foundations, to show people that this way of living is better than the way that they're living right now, and to make it easy enough and affordable enough so that people can replicate it anywhere in the world. And so we are open sourcing and free sharing all these different foundations so that they can be implemented not only as the complete teacher demonstration hub, although that is really like the big magical aspect of what it is that we're doing, is to create teacher demonstration hubs designed to teach other people how to create teacher demonstration hubs as well, so that everybody that participates in building One Community as a teacher demonstration hub will have the skills, the knowledge, and access to the resources that will be globally accessible, free shared, and readily accessible to everybody, but the hands-on experience to be able to go and help other people to build teacher demonstration hubs as well. And so our organization will operate as the prototype and a training ground for people to be able to go out and help create other teacher demonstration communities, villages, cities, and hubs around the world, working together as a global cooperative, a global collaborative of these organizations and groups working together to create even more open source and free shared content, even more versions, iterations, evolutions, and adaptations of what it is that we're doing so there's even more versions for people to choose from. This is establishing the global eco-renaissance, creating something for everyone so that anybody who wants to participate in the eco-renaissance has some small way that they can do that. And so how are we doing that in a way that's providing something that's not already available? Well, a few different examples of that would be that we are doing objective, independent, nonprofit, non-governmental research, totally uninfluenced by any outsiders. We put teams of researchers on researching the most sustainable companies and products in all the different areas that are most important for all the different phases of our development. So right now we've been focusing on the most sustainable toilets, the most sustainable faucets, the most sustainable insulation, flooring, paints, primers, adhesives, because those are the things that we're factoring into our design process right now. As we start building one community, we will do this for all aspects of everything that we have to place an order for. And because we have no connections to any outside organizations, companies, or groups, we're motivated to find the absolute best. Now, when I put a team of engineers on the subject of what is the most sustainable installation, I said, I want to know what the most sustainable installation is in the world, and I need an objective way to identify what that is. I need a clear set of criteria for how you made that decision, and like a matrix for evaluating every option that's out there so that anybody can look at it, understand why we made the decision that we made, and if they are thinking differently or they would like to, do their own version, they should be able to use ours to make their decision, to see how it is that we made the decisions that we made, and to be able to modify it if they have different values. And then I said, well, what would be the most sustainable installation if you're interested in cost as your top value, and sustainability as your top value, health as your top value? And so we created a matrix and we analyzed everything through that matrix, and we've done this for all these different areas. Well, as an organization, I want to do this for everything I interact with in my entire life. I would like to know what the most sustainable everything is. Why would I not want to make the most intelligent decision in everything that I do? But to do that, I need an army of researchers. And so far, my army's only been 2,000 volunteers. We've had 2,000 volunteers do hundreds of thousands of hours of research and design. I would like to expand that. Right now, our core team has only been 4 or 5 people helping to manage a team that has fluctuated between 100 and 200 volunteers at a time doing all this research. Imagine one community as an organization of 500 core members managing thousands of volunteers working offsite, helping to do this research, to answer these kinds of questions, to be able to create this global and establish the global eco-renaissance. This is exactly what we're doing. This is what we're doing. So over 2,000 volunteers so far, hundreds of thousands of hours of research so far, a nonprofit, non-governmental organization, all volunteer, 100% volunteer organization, including myself, creating this because we want to live this way, creating this because we want to make it easy enough, affordable enough, and demonstrate it's attractive enough so that it will establish the global eco-renaissance by creating a global cooperative of organizations growing exponentially to create even more open source tools, resources, do-it-yourself instructions, and versions, iterations, adaptations, evolutions of what it is that we're doing, all open source and free shared. And we're open sourcing and free sharing the open source process itself so that it will spread on its own. Ultimately, so that we can achieve a sustainable civilization, so that we can reach that tipping point, that critical mass of participation, such that we can say that humanity has become a sustainable civilization. And so that this living model is available and accessible to anybody, anywhere on the planet that would like to live this way. And so we're creating all the plans, the instructions, and everything so that people can take what it is that we're doing and implement it in their own lives and modify it, adapt it to their own values, so you can take the aspects that you like, discard the aspects that you don't. But because the whole process is created with the mentality and the consciousness and the idea to create and live for the highest good of all people in life on this planet, we feel that implementing any aspect of this is a step in the right direction. And it's going to take millions, billions of tiny little steps, tiny little implementations to achieve a sustainable planet. And the ultimate expression of that is one community as the prototype, and creating a global cooperative and collaborative of teacher demonstration, communities, villages, cities, and hubs like one community working together for the highest good of all people in life on this planet, open sourcing and free sharing even more and more and more. Everything you see happening in this background of this video, and so much more than that. So this is where we're up to. If you'd like to help, visit our helping page. Of course, donations are very much appreciated. We're an all-volunteer, nonprofit organization. I'm not paid for what it is I'm doing, so what isn't covered by donations is covered by me. So I love it when people donate. Even $5 or $10 makes a difference, helps to move this whole thing forward. Subscribe if you'd like a weekly dose of positivity in your inbox. If you geek out on this stuff like we do, we send out one email a week. That email includes this video and a link to our written blog. Of course, all of our social media accounts as well. If you'd like to help out, visit our social media accounts. Help us share this information. If you'd like to see exactly what we've accomplished in the last week, the written blog is what that's all about. And of course, if you'd like to access all the open source tools, resources, do-it-yourself instructions, check out our website or Google One Community and pretty much anything about sustainability, and you will see that we've probably got a whole page about it, leading to a whole step-by-step series of tutorials and everything related to that we're continuously developing and will finalize as part of the construction process of One Community. This is what One Community is doing. This is how we're establishing the global eco-renaissance. I invite you to stick around for a couple minutes if you'd like to help our algorithm. And of course, if you'd like to see bullet points on all the major components of our project. And yeah, thanks for watching the end. Until next week, we of course keep on keeping on. Thank you.
The One Community approach to highest good housing is eco-artistic home building that is affordable, sustainable, do-it-yourself duplicable, resource and space efficient, and consists of 7 different sustainably constructed village models. One Community is also creating an open-source duplicable city center. It is designed to be LEED Platinum certified, provide 12 guest rooms, dining for over 150 people, and laundry and recreation space for over 300 people, all while saving money, time, space, and resources. One Community's approach to highest good food is duplicable almost anywhere, scalable for different needs, more biodiverse and nutritious, part of forwarding a global open source botanical garden collaborative, and includes 9 different free shared and duplicable growing environments. One Community's approach to highest good education is designed for all age groups, adaptable to any schooling environment, inspiring and fun for all participants, includes national standards, all subjects, lesson plans, teaching strategies, learning strategies and tools, classroom design, and more. The One Community approach to highest good society is globally focused, individually enriching, cooperative and collaborative, includes a highest good network and application, 4 different economic models, and combines fulfilled living and true earth stewardship for the benefit of all people and all life on this planet.